I said, you know what? We just gonna let her fill up our screen right here. She just gonna fill it up, okay? And I think I'm gonna be rocking natural for a minute. I missed her. Is that all right? I did a poll on Instagram and I asked you guys, what topics did you want to hear the most about? By far the response was marriage and relationships. This topic is so big, I cannot possibly cover all of this in a video that's shorter than 20 minutes, which is what I always shoot for, less than 20 minutes. So I'm going to probably make it a bit of a series or just hit it a couple times every so often, so that way I can cover different aspects of it. But today we're going to specifically focus on the most common phrase used when you talk about marriage. Can you guess what that phrase is? Marriage is work. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to create my own little acronym for work and give you a couple tips, couple principles, a couple things I live by and I have learned in the past almost 12 years of marriage. Here we go. So the first letter in the word work obviously is W. And what better word to slide on my acronym of the W.O.R.K than work? Work is the first thing I want to break down. A lot of times I see marriages land in counseling when one or both folks in the marriage decide to stop putting effort into having a loving, a supportive, and a respectful relationship. The moment you say you don't want to respect the other person because they did X, they did Y, they did Z, and you are now acting out towards them through this filter of disrespect, that will make for an unhappy spouse who then retaliates if they're not spiritually mature enough to forgive and to let it go and to try to build and repair with you. Now, from the perspective, we're still talking about work and effort in a marriage. If you're the person who's giving it, I ask you to consider the fact that the person you're in a relationship with is God's child. You do not want to get in God's way. He cares how they're treated. He cares what type of relationship they're in, because the marriage is the closest biblical reference and covenant that is made that resembles our relationship with God and our covenant that we have with God. So please consider, if you're the one who accepted this place, and honestly, it could be justified. They could have straight up wronged you. But God gives us our own responsibility in how we treat people. And he says love should be the final rule. So even if you've had a bad year, bad month, bad moment, please work to recover from that. Work, put forth effort to recover from the damage that's been done. And there's so many tools and resources to do that. One is the love language. Y'all see that? I missed that. I don't know if that was on the camera or not. But the 5 love languages, I think that's by Gary Chapman. So this one breaks down the best way to actually give love, but also it'll help you understand what you need to feel loved. Because a lot of times in relationships, what you give is what you want to get back, but it's not what makes the other person feel loved. So what you want to do is make sure that you are giving love the way that they need it, but you're also receiving love the way you need it because you've told them that's what you need. And it's more than just an emotional reaction. Let me throw that out there. The second book is, darn it, what's the name of the second book? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, it's the Love Dare. The Love Dare. It is a 40-day focus on giving the love in your relationship. There's actually a challenge every day, which starts as simple as today you're going to give the person a compliment. Tomorrow you're going to, plan a date. The next day you're going to write them a note. Like, it breaks down how you can walk your way back into love. If you have never read the Love Dare, it has a journal. You're writing your thoughts out, your feelings, because if you're really going to commit to getting your relationship back on track, whether you're on the receiving end of the negativity or you're giving it, the Love Dare is perfect. You can get it at any Christian bookstore. There's actually it's derived from actually a movie. I can't remember if it was a Love Dare or not. If you know what movie I'm talking about, put it in the comments below. I just can't remember if it was Love Dare or not. But anyway, it was a great movie, excellent principles, and this book will get you there. So The Love Dare and The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. So if you're in a tumultuous state in your relationship, boom, please do those 2 things. I promise you it will make a difference. So W.O.R.K, meaning effort. Yes, marriage is work. Yes, marriage means you have to put forth effort, but it's the best investment you will make in your entire life. O in the word work stands for original. Every relationship is different. Every single one. You cannot compare what someone else does in their relationship to what you want to see happen in your own. But a lot of times you'll see relationships put front and center on Instagram, on social media, and you're thinking, oh, I want to do that with my boo. Oh, I want to hang out with my husband like that. Oh, he don't ask me. Original. Now, if you are a person in your relationship who's never said to your spouse, or haven't said in a long time, babe, I'd like to go do this. Babe, do you think we can do this more? What do you think about us, having, reading a book at the same time? What do you think about us listening to this podcast and talking about it on Monday nights? What do you think about, if you want more out of your relationship, you want to create what's your relationship, the best possible scenario for your marriage, you want it to be truly original, which it should be. Sometimes you just got to say what you need. Especially if you're the woman. Let me let you know right now, and I'm not trying to stereotype every man, but I can say this about most husbands, and research shows it, they are not thinking one step beyond the space they're in. So a lot of times, us ladies can get a little bit lost in their world unless they are just a romantic at heart, and it's just an effort they're constantly putting forth, which honestly I found to be few and far between. You gotta say it sometimes. And that's not always romantic, because if you said it, they didn't come up with it, and you're like, okay, alright, okay, we're doing it, but it ain't cute. You gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. And guys, can I just say this to give you a little bit of a tip? It is so important that you put reminders, whether it's if you follow calendars, put it in your calendar to ask her out on a date. Put it in your calendar to get her flowers. Put it in your calendar to buy her something outside of just a birthday, Mother's Day, if that applies to you, and Valentine's Day. It should not be 3 days out of 365 days a year that you are making a romantic effort. Dude, that's neglect. I'm just saying. Same for the ladies. It should not just be their birthday, Valentine's, Christmas, or just a couple times a year that we are actually doing something special for them. We want them to know that we love them too. We're not just always waiting for them to catch up or be enough. No, we're also focused on what we are giving and contributing in the relationship. Hey, man, this video could literally be 3 hours, maybe a whole day, but I gotta move on. Let's go to the R. R is for rising above. Rise above. You are going to be offended and hurt at some point in your marriage. It is inevitable. Oh, you're being negative. That's not true for every relationship. Oh, yes, it is. Why? They are imperfect. There are going to be things they do intentionally sometimes, and unintentionally that is going to hurt you. And in any relationship you're in, whether it's with your children, parents, cousins, uncles, co-workers, people are going to get on your nerves sometimes. It's just a part of it. It's just a part of life. But if you walk around carrying everything everyone has ever done to you, it's going to put your heart in a very negative place. And honestly, it's hard to be in a relationship with someone who's always negative. So are you going to choose to actually get a heart transplant? Of course, I'm going to encourage you to get yourself together when it comes to God. If you feel far away from God, who is love, God is love, then drawing close to Him in your mind, in your heart, reading the Word of God, praying, connecting with God can give you that positivity that you need, cleaning up your heart, helping you to view things differently, so that way you want to be a person that does exude love and exude good things. Good things come from your mouth. Good things are what you think about. But there does take effort in that relationship too. You have to put in that work with God to get what you want to get. And I promise your relationship will benefit from that in the best way. A lot of times it's part of the biggest, I guess I would say, hurt in a relationship is when someone turns their back on God, and you can see a decline almost immediately. I've seen it time and time again where they let life and other priorities and things really become a distraction. So my encouragement to you is to please draw close to God, but please forgive. Please forgive your spouse. The last letter in my acronym is K, and it stands for cute. Yes, I did. I took that C out and replaced it with a K. Cute. Because you need to keep looking good. Even though you've been married 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, 50 years, you need to look like something. Especially if you are a stay-at-home mom or you work from home. What does this mean? This means that you have more opportunities to be in that bathrobe and sweats. And your spouse needs to see you looking alive. When I worked from home, I fell into this rut, and he was like, okay, your hair is still in that bonnet. It's been 4 days. I need you to come alive. That is real talk. You got to stay cute. You want to stay in a place where when you go out in public, your husband or your wife's eyes still bounces to you because you look great. And I don't care if you've gained pounds since you've gotten married, especially for the ladies who struggle with it, especially if you had kids. Who cares? There is a cute for every shape. So there's too many videos and things like that you can see and check out. If you want to hear my thoughts on some things you can do to be cute, I would love to share them with you. But there's some very basic principles that I have that really kind of help me to keep putting effort in, but it does not require any more effort than if I were wearing sweats and stuff every day. So please stay attractive for your spouse. Keep them out the streets in Jesus' name. All right, guys, so that's all that I have to share today. W.O.R.K. W, you got to put in the work or the effort to have a great relationship. O, be original. You're original, they're original, so your relationship is one of a kind. R, rise above. You got to be able to forgive. And K is stay cute. Ha! That's my favorite one. All right. Comment below, guys. I want to hear your thoughts on the things that were shared today and other things you care to hear me talk about as well. I have a couple things on my heart that I'm going to be sharing over the next couple weeks. I actually have an anniversary and a birthday coming up, so excited about that. Love all of you. Thank you so much for your continued support and love, and for sharing this video, of course, and encouraging folks to follow and subscribe. You are great. Have an awesome day. A lot of people will say, okay, I'm single, I'm waiting on him, I'm waiting on this guy. I get this from ladies at my church, in the ministry where I'm a pastor, and they'll ask me, hey, I need to know, why this is taking so long. How do I stay patient? How do I hang on? How do I not give in and lower my standards? And my question, or a lot of times my thought is, but are you ready for the work? I think it's important to not focus on what you're waiting on and focus on the preparation. Because a lot of the time we're always in preparation mode. When it shows up, it's there and that's it, right? That, when it comes, it's quick. But preparation should be the focus for no matter what your goal is. You are moving towards changing careers, starting a business. You're trying to finish college. You're always in preparation mode. You're always learning. You're moving towards something. So marriage is work, but before you get to the work, please focus on preparation.